Have you ever wondered why Bali, a beautiful island in the world's largest Muslim-majority country, is known as the Island of the Gods? The story of how Hinduism arrived and flourished here is a fascinating journey through time, full of powerful kingdoms, incredible art, and dramatic shifts in power. Let's dive into the rich history of Balinese Hinduism. The first whispers of Hinduism reached the Indonesian archipelago way back in the 4th century. Indian traders and priests brought with them not just goods, but also their culture, philosophy, and religion. This wasn't a conquest, but a gentle fusion. Over the next few centuries, numerous Hindu kingdoms began to rise across the islands, particularly in Java and Sumatra. But something truly special happened here. Hinduism didn't just replace the existing local beliefs. It blended with them the indigenous animistic traditions, which revered nature and ancestral spirits, found common ground with Hindu concepts. This unique blend created a distinct form of Hinduism that you can still see in Bali today, a faith that is deeply intertwined with the local culture and landscape. The golden age for this unique spiritual blend was between the 8th and 14th centuries. During this period, both Hindu and Buddhist ideologies flourished side by side, often merging in fascinating ways. This was a time of incredible artistic and architectural achievement. Think of the magnificent temples of Java, the world-famous Borobudur, a massive Buddhist monument, and the stunning Prambanan, a grand Hindu temple complex, were both built in the 9th century. These structures are breathtaking testaments to the devotion and skill of the people of that era. They showcase a sophisticated society where different spiritual paths coexisted and inspired one another. The most powerful of these Hindu-Buddhist kingdoms was Majapahit. From the 13th to the 15th century, its influence stretched across much of Southeast Asia. Majapahit was a beacon of culture, art, and trade. For centuries, it was the dominant power, and its court in East Java was a center of learning and spirituality. However, like all great empires, its time was coming to an end. The decline of Majapahit began from within. The last king of the empire had a son named Raden Patah. A major internal conflict arose, leading to a dramatic turning point in the region's history. Raden Patah made a pivotal decision. He converted to Islam. This conversion wasn't just a personal choice. It had massive political and religious consequences. With support from emerging Islamic sultanates, Raden Patah challenged his own father's empire. The internal strife, combined with the growing influence of Islam across the archipelago, led to the eventual fall of the mighty Majapahit kingdom in the late 15th century. With its collapse, the dominant Hindu-Buddhist influence in Java and the surrounding islands began to wane, gradually being replaced by Islam. But the story doesn't end there. As the Majapahit Empire crumbled, many of its nobles, priests, artists, and scholars fled. They sought refuge on the neighboring island of Bali, carrying with them their sacred texts, their rituals, and their rich cultural heritage. This great migration was a pivotal moment. It turned Bali into a sanctuary, a living museum of the old Javanese Hindu-Buddhist civilization. This is why Bali is so unique. The island became the last bastion of a culture that had once dominated the entire region. The legacy of Majapahit was preserved and continued to evolve, creating the vibrant and deeply spiritual culture that captivates millions of visitors today. From the intricate daily offerings or kanang sari to the grand temple ceremonies and the epic dance dramas, the soul of an ancient empire lives on in Bali. So the next time you see a picture of a Balinese temple or witness a colorful procession, you'll know that you're not just looking at a beautiful scene. You're seeing the living legacy of 1,000 years of history, a story of spiritual fusion, artistic brilliance, and the incredible resilience of a culture that found a new home on the island of the gods. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into Bali's history interesting, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories from around the world. See you next time.